Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Girls Frontline reaction. Today we have a request from Memro, who said I need to listen to Mythoclast. They also said I should listen to Shark and Sea, but I'm only going to be listening to Mythoclast this time just because that's all I really have time to do today. Also, just a head of warning here, I am starting to get a little bit sick. It is finally springtime here in the lovely, disgusting Midwest, and the weather always hits me every year like a freight train for the first few weeks, so I'm going to be a little bit coffee, and you're probably going to notice some extra like cuts than usual, as you just saw by that cut there. So I'm going to hope that I can make it through the reaction, and without further ado, let's go. Whenever I do get to Shark and Sea, I'll definitely re-listen to this one though, so I won't lose the similarities. So I'm loving the vibe on those synths. I don't know really why, it just kind of pulled me in. Maybe it's this very progressive bass line. Just constantly moving. Just grabbing my attention. This slaps. Hello. God, the tension on everything in this. Beautiful dissonance there. Wow. That was so crunchy. This one is one of the most cinematic songs I've heard of theirs in a while. I've had a few so far, but this one just slaps. Building up all that tension again. Still building it. Had a slight relief in there, but they really are just... This is relentless with how much tension it's building. I love the tone on that kick too. That's just... It's got the perfect blend of like punch and resonance to it. It's very tight, has just the slightest decay on it. The perfect industrial flavor. Oh. I love that one. God, I love that so much. What an intense... This was just all tension. Like I said, the overall tension of this just kept growing. Like, there was definitely moments in there where they would resolve all of the notes and they would settle all of that tension just a little bit. But usually, most of the time, they would continue building the tension back in even after a resolution. So, like, you never really felt comfortable, which I think is the main idea behind this song, is, like, keeping that tension high, not letting you get comfortable, and constantly feeling stressed, because that's exactly what was happening here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the exact keys that they were using, and effectively, they were kind of using most of a pentatonic scale here, which is this D, this E flat, this G flat, G, and then A. Like, just... You probably recognize a lot of what that sounded like. It's also kind of akin to the Egyptian scale, and just in general, most pentatonic scales have that feel to them because they're used so commonly for that. But the reason that this is so cool is because most of those relationships in the vocal parts especially are kind of just messing around with the flats and the neighboring white keys, the whole notes in this entire song. Like anytime that those vocals start to crunch in on each other, you get all these different relationships, like just playing a couple of them here. That, this, that one definitely exists, and maybe even 3 of them. You know? And as you can tell by me just playing those, there's a lot of crunch in there, and the notes don't really like to settle. So, like, every single time you think of this sort of disgusting, minor, diminished tone, that's kind of what's happening, but at the same time, they're matching it with majors. So it's like, okay, now you have not only minor thirds and diminished fourths, but then major thirds. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, they're not all wrong. They don't all not work together. Their relationship is just strained. It's like a bad marriage. But that's kind of the crux of this entire song. It's taking all of that tension and utilizing it to its fullest to make the player feel like they're just not able to settle down, get comfortable. There's never a moment in here where you feel full resolve. Even at the end, when it kind of did, it still didn't quite leave all of it off the table. It still left some there, probably so it can cycle back into the song and loop itself back through at certain points, but like, that's still why it's there. They need to have that tension constant to make the player feel constantly off their game and constantly caught off guard by things happening in the sound, and that's just adding so much pressure to you as a player, and that's just, it works really well here. I think it's really neat that they use all of these notes here. I didn't hear as much of the A, at least in the vocal spots, but I'm guaranteeing it's in there. And what's cool about that is I don't think the rest of the song was really following the same pentatonic scale, which means that it was using different notes that would be additionally clashing with the ones I just played. Like, there's probably another key being played here, or another mode of the same key, so different notes are being utilized and adding even more of that crunch and that diminished flair that's just not okay to the human ear. We don't like to hear it, but it is really cool when it's done right. Everything else about the song was pretty standard for like a cinematic wartime track. You have very big, heavy drums. Again, love that bass sample in there. That kick was just perfect. It was just so crisp. It had just enough punch to it. It impacted you like crazy. It feels like it punches you right in the chest, and then it just kind of resonates out and goes right back into it again. It was just the perfect level of punch that you need for a song like this, and that industrial sort of back end to the rest of the song. The synth choices were really cool. That entire bass line I was talking about at the beginning, that was really neat, which again, I'm pretty sure impacted me so much because of how it's like constantly going up and down a scale and keeping that arpeggiating movement going. It just did not settle in ever. And that's again another factor of this song that didn't settle in, was all of the synths constantly moving. Nothing really felt like it was ever gonna stop, and you're not allowed to either as the player. But my throat's starting to get to me, so I'm gonna end it there. Thank you all so very much for watching. Hopefully this is all cleared up by the next time I do a Girls Frontline video, but if it's not, I apologize in advance. And either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other songs from Girls Frontline you want me to get to yet, obviously there's that other one, Shark and Sea, that I have yet to get to that I probably will, but if there's any other ones, let me know down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get to them as always. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for those in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!